YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Buddha back in the build for another last Cloudia news and information guide kind of video, I guess. We just got the recent announcements about the Beat the Heat Summer Festival 4 Millions download celebration coming to last Cloudia, and with it they told us they are introducing a unit trade-in ticket as well as an arc trade ticket. You're not getting them both at the same time. You're first going to get the unit on the 28th of this month, and then the arc ticket 2 weeks from that date. I imagine a lot of new players will be exposed to one of these selectors that you can access in the trade shop, so what better time than ever to make a who to pick with your ticket video. And we're going to jump over to the last Cloudia global unit tier list managed by Tweaks and Meowing Cat. So big thank you to those two for constantly managing this resource. This link will obviously be in the description so you can access it as well. And I did do a little bit of editing, right? So we're only seeing the options that are available for us to select, right? Because it does only go up to a certain release of unit, that being Aldanian, who we can see at the top. And what's nice is that this tier list by default is ordered by release. So everything from Aldanian down is in chronological order. So how we're going to start is by ordering the tier list by rating. And this is very simply going to paint an image of the top contenders that I would say to go for with this DOH and permanent unit selector ticket. Very exciting because we've never had a ticket handout like this where we have access to DOH units within the pool as well. So we have some essential tools available in this selector, right? For a lot of new players who just started out, maybe you just got Shift Balin, you started with Shift Balin, who is the god of DPS right now. You don't really need anything else to help you clear out mobs. So at that point, you're just wanting those top tier supports and other units that can enhance Balin, make him better, and start fleshing out an overall team. That's obviously going to be in the form of my first recommendation, Spirit Maiden Tyria. If you do not have this girl and it's not by choice, please do yourself a favor. It is no exaggeration when you hear myself and others in the community tell you that just by getting this unit on your team, you change the difficulty of the entire game. It's literally like setting a game from hardcore mode to easy mode. It is that drastic how much survivability Tyria provides your team, how much enabling both defensive and offensive, how many tools and how much utility is built within her innately. You don't need a lot to help her. She is a game changer, literally. Looking at the next item line, you see Loug Zeus, God of Ruin. He's talked about all the time, and for good reason. He still holds up as one of the top at the current power curve. However, he's not who I'd recommend as my second choice for those who already have Spirit Maiden Tyria. Who I would recommend to any account after that is Maja, yes. So for a couple different reasons, Maja not only provides incredible meta level magic DPS that we currently have in the game, whereas, you know, going back to Loug Zeus, he's going to provide that physical DPS in his most effective state. Yes, you can build him for a mage. Yes, you can super niche build him for special DPS, but those are not his main roles, right? That's why it's under the sub-role category. Physical DPS is something that we have a plethora of, and for the majority of players, which is more who I'm preaching to. This is more of a list for the casual to new players. They just want some advice in the right direction. I imagine you have a DPS that you are maining or that you're currently building. I would not recommend getting Loug Zeus and then switching your focus for many different reasons. However, Maja is immediately a unit that's going to provide that background magic DPS along with your designated physical DPS that you're working on currently. And he provides a level of utility that I would say also warrants him for the second spot, right? We're going to place him just like this so that we can actually rank this in the order that I would recommend to players. I have a video on it, but Maja unlocks your Heart of the Temple auto running, right? So if you're just starting and you're like, I don't really have a good auto running team, I'm putting all my materials into my main DPS, I don't really have resources at the moment to like focus on building an auto farm team, Maja carries an entire auto farm alone, right? Without needing to build too much. Obviously, you need to invest into him, but once you get him fleshed out to where he needs to be, he can unlock a one-stage auto farm, which I have plenty of videos talking about why that's so beneficial in this game overall. But not only do you get those benefits, but his particular auto farm is the best one-stage wave farm to unlock character XP as well as farm Zell. So my quality of life on my account shot up exponentially as soon as I got Maja. Not only because he can clear out some of the most difficult content, but also just for the simple account utility that he provides. And moving into the third spot is honestly where at this point it does become, I'd say, situational for each account, for each player, depending on your roster, depending on what you have. I think Loug Zeus, Ardeen, Sarah, and Eliza are all fine third picks if you already have Spirit Maiden Tyria and Maja covered. Now, of course, this is all opinion, so do what you want. However, I just think it would be in an account's best interest practically to go with this kind of top list of units. Spirit Maiden Tyria is my number 1, Maja being my number 2, and then Loug Zeus, Ardeen, Sarah, and Eliza being interchangeable, depending on things that you need. Ardeen, he honestly for me is right up here with Loug Zeus for the simple fact that Loug Zeus needs a lot of tools before you can reach that high level potential that he provides. You need weapon equips because he can't equip any of them innately. You need dual wield, you need certain dark weapons that are ideally Godforged weapons, and a lot of skills to help him reach his full damage potential. Ardeen, on the other hand, already comes with a complete package built into himself, along with being no attribute, right? So you don't have to worry about elemental resistances. He can switch, as you can see, to fire and earth if the enemies are weak to that. He also gets some extra damage if you switch to those elements. And then, of course, we know he has his extreme use against any difficult dragon boss enemies, or dragon type enemies in general. So Ardeen, for me, you guys know, a big fan favorite. I would personally, in this day and age, snag Ardeen above Loug Zeus. Call me crazy, but this is just your boy Buda's opinion. Sarah, obviously an incredible healer, and I would never tell you to pick her over Spirit Maiden Tyria if you're missing both of them. However, if you do have Spirit Maiden Tyria and are looking at Sarah, I wouldn't be mad at you for picking her up. Not only does she also provide great healing, but she also enables offensive units, right? She provides some stackable damage cap that can go on top of things like Tinkili, on top of things like Saintly Lilibet, and can just enhance the potential for those units. Her damage cap also is relevant to physical and magic DPS, so she's very versatile in her offensive enabling. Very nice unit overall. Of course, Shift Eliza also, again, would never tell you to get her before Maja. However, after her enabling, well, first of all, her magic DPS is no slouch. It's not the top of the top. However, it still holds up very well, especially because she enables herself and other units that are extremely top tier. Her anima being able to lower light and fire resistance by -20, which stacks on top of weak, stacks upon circles, stacks on top of every other type of resistance lowering, makes it so that she's dealing incredible background damage and then also enhancing the damage of your entire team if you build around fire and light units, which is very easy to do when you have top units like Shift Roland, like Roy, like Murren, like the most recent Violet that came with the collab Persona 5. So there are a ton of great options for those two elements, and Eliza just makes those types of teams better. If you guys watch my YouTube shorts, she was a key reason why we were able to just beat floors 1 through 100 with one team, right? We didn't have to change the team comp. And after these first 6 selections, the priority and the urgency to acquire any other of these units just goes down considerably. I think if you have all of those units already, It's just a preference thing at that point, right? Like, you consider Maze of Tartarus, you need more units to flesh out so that you can beat the newly incoming 30 stages, 30 floors rather than 20 like we had last time. And there are some good options for that, right? I think some that come off the top of my head. Well, first let me say, I would definitely recommend picking DOH semi-limited units before ever touching general pool units, unless you just absolutely like need Gorm. You don't want to wait any longer to get him or try to chance him from the permanent gacha. I wouldn't blame you for getting a unit like Gorm, unless you have a super very specific reason to get a certain character. Look for the DOH semi-limited units because they're naturally just harder to come by. And then back to what I was saying, things like Regal Bolt Lancevale, real nice with his super armor, and pretty, I wouldn't say super meta, but very, very decent thunder damage. We don't have a ton of great thundered units nowadays. Leona, obviously, I just put out a video on her. She is looking really, really nice with the new single wield buff, so I've been having a ton of fun with her. I know, sacrilegious for me to say something like that. Sword Imagineer Lilibet, another Earth PDPS, however, she also was one of my solo carries for one of the maze floors. But all of these other units I'm scrolling down as we get to the ones in the tier list rating just don't pop out at me for anything to urgently grab, right? If you just want to like pick up a random Rabala because she's cool, or a freaking Logia because you don't have them yet and you want a nice little extra status ailment spammer, whatever. At that point, it's just about, I'd say, preference and favorites, if you will. And that's going to cover this first portion of my recommendations for who to get with the unit selector ticket. I was thinking about talking about the arcs. However, I think I'm going to save it since we are going to get that selector ticket 2 weeks after this coming update. I'll save that video for when that's going to become a little more relevant and let you just digest this information, get your mind prepped, get you excited for that unit you've been starving for, and now Adis is just literally handing us the ticket and the unit of choice, which is incredible. I love to see this quality of life, especially for free-to-play / budget players. It's a huge W, and hopefully this video helped you out. Guys, that's all I got for you this time. Like, subscribe, bell notifications if you're new. Turn on all noties so you don't miss when your boy Buddha posts a video on crucial information for this coming summer update that seems to be pretty hype. Looking forward to what other maybe hopeful surprises we see along the way. With all that being said, y'all know what we say. Work hard, play hard. See you in the next video.